Music comes under the category of high energy rock and roll, and you better believe it too. That's Johnny Winter and Jumpin' Jack Flash recorded live. Well, we're just about at the end of the program. There's a few things we want to show you still, like basically what's coming up next week. So what we'll do right here is have a look at next week's lineup here, just a few of the acts coming up next week on Nightmoves. Beautiful, Linda Ronstadt, and when will I see you again? Time to have a look at the album review with Chris Maxwell. Chris, incidentally, this week is heading up for Great Keppel Island to catch Joe Cocker up there. I'm not very jealous. He'll be up there for a couple of weeks, and while he's gone, Peter Grace will be doing the album review, and Peter comes with my highest recommendations, right? So he'll be doing it next week. In the meantime, let's get into this week's album review with 3XY's album show compere and also music director Chris Maxwell.
Thanks, Lee. Well, as yet the split-up of the Allman Brothers has not been officially announced by Capricorn Records. But Greg Allman has his own band happening at the moment, and Dickie Betts has Great Southern, his new band, and this is their first album, self-titled, Dickie Betts and Great Southern. The lineup of the band is pretty powerful. They've got two drummers, a bass player, Guy on keyboards, and with Dickie Betts, two guitarists. And it's a really nice, powerful sound on the album. I think if anybody's going to keep the spirit of the Allman Brothers music going, it'll be Dickie Betts. Some of the playing on this album is really reminiscent of the Allmans at their peak with the Brothers and Sisters album. Dickie Betts playing, along with the vitality in the band and the vitality in their sound, has produced some really beautiful songs, and there are about 4 standout tracks on the album. I think we can expect some really good music from them in the future. Dickie Betts and Great Southern.
Nights in white satin, never reaching the air.
Recently, we've seen some solo albums by Justin Hayward and John Lodge, and now the Moody Blues, a double live set of late 1960s material, recorded back in 1969. The live tracks include Nights in White Satin and Ride My Seesaw. Now, there are 5 new tracks on this double album set. That's the last side of the album set. They don't contain any classic songs by the Moody Blues, but if you're into the band, I don't think you'll be disappointed with these previously unreleased tracks. Some live gems and a few previously unreleased tracks by the Moody Blues. Caught Live +5. Ritz is a fairly new band on the recording scene here, and this is their debut album. They're 5 guys, and they're very difficult to define musically. The album is a mixture of various styles. There's some spacey songs on the album, a couple of really commercial tracks, a touch of classical, a touch of reggae, and even some flashes of yes on a couple of the songs. It's a really interesting mixture, really well produced, and some fine playing on the album. A nice mixture of styles and a very pleasant album to listen to. A diamond as big as the Ritz by the Ritz. Here's an album that we've all waited quite a long time for. After about 8 years of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young and various solo albums, a new album by Crosby, Stills and Nash. The guys wanted to retain the basic magic of their first album, and they really do that. They picked a small band of American musos, and not much overdubbing was done on the session. It was very simple production, and it really let Crosby, Stills and Nash playing, singing and harmonising really stand out and receive the attention that it deserves. It recreates the flavour of the first album with little flashes of stuff like Long Time Gone and Judy Blue Eyes, and their harmonies sounding like some sort of musical instrument. They're just beautiful, and so much work must have gone into it. It's just really beautiful stuff. There's writing from all the guys, all 3 guys. Stephen Stills has a couple more than the rest of them. And the writing is first class. There's not one bad track on the album, musically or lyrically. It's just a standout album, CSN. I think it's going to be one of the most significant and the best albums released this year. American Stars and Bars is the name of Neil Young's new set. It's quite a mixture of styles, but all definitely Neil Young. Side 1 is a mixture of songs recorded in 1974, 75 and 76. There's an appearance by Emmylou Harris on this side, and a beautiful thing called Will to Love, which features simply Neil Young and guitar. A very simple song, a very beautiful song. Also, in contrast, on the same side, there's a track called Hurricane, a really dynamic track with Neil Young playing very familiar screaming guitar on that one. Side 2 is Neil Young and Crazy Horse with the Bullets, and another lady pops up on this side, Linda Ronstadt, with some really sweet singing on the album. There's still no real direction on this album. It's a hodgepodge of songs, but it contains a few classics to be, I think. Neil Young and Crazy Horse, American Stars and Bars. And to finish off tonight's album review, let's go back a little bit and have a look at some earlier Neil Young.
Fairmont GXL, the Australian-designed personal sports sedan in the European tradition. A smooth, long-striding, superb handling car with steel-belted radials, four-wheel power disc brakes, touring suspension system, power steering, and the comfort of comprehensive luxury appointments. Ford Fairmont GXL. Designed and built in Australia to the European tradition. Ford Fairmont GXL.
Στο HBA μίλησαν τη γλώσσα μου και με βοήθησαν να ξανασταθώ στα πόδια μου με μια γρήγορη ανάρρωση.
Don't buy a pair of jeans just yet, because Just Jeans Down to Earth sale starts Monday.
Twanger. EMS Records present 22 of the greatest guitar hits ever. Twanger. There's Wipeout, Kon-Tiki, Rebel Rouser, Because They're Young, Shazam, Apache, and many more. Don't let it pass you by. Twanger on EMS Records and cassette. Recommended retail $5.99.
In just a moment, we'll be getting into tonight's feature, which is with Renee Gye. But just before we do that, we've got a couple of guys in tonight who have been pretty well known for their association with Renee in the past. And they are Mel Logan and Barry Sullivan, otherwise known as BG. Welcome to Nightmoves. Yeah, well, if we can talk about the last 6 to 8 months in your case and the last few months in yours, Mel, when sort of you ended a rather long-standing era with Renee. In your case, Barry, it was when you came back from the States after the Moving Along album.
Yeah.
What did you do when you came back and sort of why?
Well, when I didn't have anything planned really when I got back, and fortunately I ran into Ross Wilson, who was just putting a band together at the time.
It's Mondo Rock, right?
Mondo Rock, yeah. And so I worked with Ross, I suppose, for about 2 or 3 months it lasted. He's just broken that band up. He puts together on a rather temporary sort of basis.
Yeah.
Which was good for me. We sort of got away from doing the hotel scenes with Renee. We were just doing big concerts, and it's been good for me to work every night of the week doing the hotels now again. It's great.
What about in your case, Mel? Your departure was only a short time ago.
Yeah, just a couple of weeks ago I did
Yeah.
the last job with Renee. I just felt I had to get into something else for a while. You know, I've been working with BG over the last 4 years, and we've always talked about getting something together, and at the moment we've sort of just started to get something together, and I've been looking for that for quite a while, so,
Yeah.
you know.
Go back to your original relationship, like how did the two of you meet?
With Chain about 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I joined Chain and we sort of clicked then. And then we formed, we did a lot of sessions then after Chain split up, and then we did Sanctuary, which was the backing band for Renee for about a year.
Yeah.
And then just went on from then with Renee for about 3 years.
Yeah. Can we talk about actually the recording of the Moving Along album in the States? What was it like recording in the States? Was it, you know, a lot better than you thought it'd be, or pretty much what you thought it was all cracked out to be, or what?
The thing that was really different was having a producer of the standard over there. I don't think there's really any producers, well, I haven't come across any like that.
Yeah.
The vibe sort of got happening in the studio was pretty incredible.
Yeah, he had complete control of what was going on, and that's, well, we'd never ever worked under that conditions.
Yeah, this is Frank
And-
Wilson.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And it was a really good experience to see how they did the whole thing, you know.
Yeah.
And like the product tells how they did it, you know, it's great.
Well, you mentioned Sanctuary before, and Sanctuary is what I want to talk about now, because you're reforming it or getting it back
Right,
together again, which is a rather ambitious little project. How did all this happen?
Well, I think Mel and I have, originally that was the plan of doing our own thing when we got the first Sanctuary together,
Yeah.
and got a bit away from that. I'm not saying we didn't enjoy what we did with Renee, but eventually, well, we've been talking about getting something together to do a lot of instrumental things that we write and stuff that we write, and the opportunity of finding the right players never seemed to come up until now. And we have a young drummer from Melbourne. His name's Adrian Payne.
Yeah.
He's just 23 and he's a fantastic drummer. And an old friend of mine, actually, from my home state of Queensland, Keith Kerwin, he's sort of really been doing coast in Queensland,
Yeah.
Cairns, just touring around, and hasn't really spent that much time in Melbourne at all, and he's just sort of come here and was looking for a gig, and we got together, had a play, and decided that was the right lineup to do it.
Yeah, you've been madly rehearsing for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've been rehearsing about 2 weeks. We start working about a week.
Yeah. Do you know any
So-
venues yet?
Well, we'll be out of town for about 2 weeks. We're going up to the Snow for a week, and then
Yeah.
down to Adelaide for a week, and then we come into town around about beginning of August.
Yeah, good stuff. Should be very
Yeah.
interesting. I'm sure a lot
Yeah.
of people will be looking forward to seeing the new Sanctuary, or just plain Sanctuary. You'll always be called, I suppose, the new
Yeah.
Sanctuary.
Yeah.
Legacy you'll have to learn to live with. I'm really looking forward to myself, as are a lot of other people. I wish you the best of luck with it. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, let's have a look at the lady that you've spent so much time with over the past few years,
Sure.
huh? The Renee Gye feature. Thanks very much,
Yeah.
Mel. Thanks, Barry. Here's Renee Gye.
Thank you. This is a man's world, but it would be nothing, no, without a woman or a girl. You see, man made the car to take us over the road, the train to carry the heavy load. Man made the electric light take us out of the dark. Folks for the water, just like Noah, maybe I. This is a man. baby boy and a baby girl. He gives them everything, everything in the whole wide world. And after everything, man, that everything he can, he makes some money, buys from other men. Yeah, well, really, it's a man's world. It's nothing without a woman or a girl. No.
Tonight, Nightmoves takes a look at Renee Gye, a lady who's managed to keep her head above water in the man's world of rock and roll. Renee was born in Melbourne 23 years ago and raised in Sydney. Her aspiration for the future was to become a language teacher, a career that Renee quickly forgot about when one day she jammed with a local garage band and decided that professional singing was all she wanted to do. With influences at the time including Aretha Franklin, Thelma Houston, Donny Hathaway and Julie Driscoll, Renee took the big step, and at 16, against her parents' wishes, she joined her first band, Dry Red. She then joined Sun, a band that suited her style more than Dry Red, and from there Renee moved through Mother Earth, Sanctuary, the Johnny Rocco Band, and finally the Renee Gye Band. Early last year, Renee became the centre of attention in a censorship controversy. RCA Records released a single from the Ready to Deal album called Sweet Love. The problem was, did Renee sing the word populate or copulate in the first line? The whole issue was considered by to be rather silly, as the answer was obvious. Judge for yourself.
I just wanna populate, but you just won't cooperate. Listen, I don't wanna segregate. That's called I just wanna stimulate. Listen, people, Well, well, well. I just wanna populate, but you don't wanna cooperate. Wanna know why it's such a lousy game, lousy. When I'm around you, you want me tame, babe. I wanna give you sweet love. That's all, babe. Love, love. Listen. Oh, darling.
Often referred to as the musician-singer, Renee had always stressed the importance of working with a band, claiming that without that environment, her music would not grow. The recently disbanded Renee Gye band was considered by many to be the most musically satisfying outfit that she'd worked with. It was with this band that Renee maintained her almost stubborn and unbending policy of sticking to her musical guns. On many occasions, well-meaning people advised Renee to lean towards a more commercial style. Thankfully, she graciously declined.
It's a little thing we put together called Be There in the Morning. Eyes are flashing, it always means that you are weary. Mr. Doug Williams. Like a shining diamond through the stormy night. Follow your heart, you find that I won't let those dark clouds get around my love. 'Cause your shining star gonna make you see. Tormented the feelings that you keep inside, won't you let them be? Giving you a warning. I don't wanna stop this feeling. You got to be there in the morning. You got that feel till I'm morning for you and me. Deep inside me, feel you smile. You're smiling through me. Yeah. Overflowing makes me feel as if you're running through me. Like a shooting star, you light up every single part of me with desire for your love. This is a feeling that only we can share. We seem to be moving to the rhythm of the static in the air. Giving you a warning. I don't wanna stop this feeling. No, you got to be there in the morning. You got to feel until I'm morning for you and me. Oh, this feeling. No, you got to be there in the morning. You got to feel like you love daughter.
This program is brought to you by Ford Australia.
Hello and welcome to another Night Moves. Tonight we'll be talking to Graham Bonnet. You'll see animals. There's Chris Maxwell's album review featuring Ariel and Rod Stewart. We'll be talking to Red Simons and having a look at Gary Wright. Our feature tonight is on Rock Arena. We'll also be talking to Geyer and Joe Camilleri from Joe Joseph and the Falcons. You'll also see Andrew Gold. To start off tonight, here's Stars recorded live at the concert and Rocky Mountain Way.
Rocky Mountain Way, I couldn't get much higher. Out to pasture, think it's safe to say, well, it's time to open fire. And then all the little ladies cry when told the story so sad, sad, sad. Tells us that changes it every day. He says it doesn't matter, no. Bases are loaded, cases it bad, playing it play by play. It must be time to change the batter. Louis, all the little ladies cry when told the story so sad, oh, so sad. feel like clapping your hands, go right ahead then. Russian McGuck on bass guitar, please give me my hand. Woo! Hey, ah. Ooh. Well, since my baby left me, found a new place to dwell. Down the street, called a lonely street, they got a heartbreak hotel. Let me tell you, so lonely, baby, so lonely, baby, I could die. My friends say it's a long way. Sure is. Yeah. Bye bye, bye bye. Good time. Baby, 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 baby. Good time, good time, good time. It's a long way. Ooh. It's a long way. Yeah. Valley Sing on choke box, please. People, we just told you about the Rocky Mountain way. Oh, yeah. 'Cause it feels alright. Thank you very much.
Tonight's show is absolutely scandalous. At least it was when it was first seen in 1924. So much so that the company responsible was dragged off to jail and charged with lewdness and immorality. It's called Desire Under the Elms, and it tells of a son's guilty love affair with his stepmother and explores with poetic but searing truth the torment of a father-son relationship. Desire Under the Elms. Passionate, scandalous viewing tonight, tomorrow night, and every other night until December the 10th. But you won't see it on this station, and you won't see it on any other station. You won't even see it at the drive-ins. The only place you'll see Desire Under the Elms is at the Athenaeum Theatre, performed live by the Melbourne Theatre Company. Tickets at the Athenaeum. MTC, Melbourne's channel.
I believe in keeping fit, don't you? And now it's so easy to give your family the best in sporting and leisure facilities, like your own pool, a family boat, or perhaps even a family tennis court. Credit have money for family leisure available now. You see, Custom Credit are right behind sport with their indoor tennis and in other ways too. That's why Custom Credit are good people to help you with family leisure finance. Custom Credit, living money, their service.
We're comparing the speed of how Repco Woodhill's Super Glue 3 fixes various products compared to other glues on the market. We're testing rubber, glass, leather, jewelry, crockery, and metal. And they're really getting stuck into it now. Well, you be the judge. The original Repco Woodhill Super Glue fixes products super fast, super strong, in seconds. Available from leading automotive hardware supermarkets and department stores.
How you doing? Welcome to another Nightmoves. Before we go any further, we'd like to apologise for a few things we promised you last week were going to happen this week. One is Lou Reed. We didn't manage to get the Lou Reed interview once again this week. Also, the Manfred Mann material we wanted to show you tonight on its way here via Timbuktu, and we're still waiting on that. And some Dragon material from the new Running Free album still isn't available, but we'll get that on the air as soon as we possibly can, okay? Tonight we've got quite a few interesting things. The Rock Arena feature, I suppose, is the major thing to show you tonight. And quite a few interesting interviews too with people like Lindsay Geyer, he's coming in, Joe Camilleri from Jojo Zepp and the Falcons, and also Red Simons is coming in to talk about his new recording ventures. And another guy we spoke to during the week was Graham Bonnet, who was in Australia for a promotional tour a few days ago. We spent a drunken Sunday afternoon down by the banks of the Yarra River, and this is how it went. Well, Graham Bonnet, welcome to Australia, welcome to the Yarra River and Nightmoves.
Ah, well, thank you very much.
We've picked a lovely day for it.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It is really good. How are you feeling? You recuperated yet?
No.
A few late nights, I've heard, over the past few days.
Slightly, yeah. A lot of late nights.
A lot of late nights.
Yeah.
Well, we can get on to a get to know about Graham Bonnet type conversation, because a lot of people really don't know all that much about you. It's mainly with It's All Over Now, Baby Blue that your popularity and just general knowledge of you has started to happen in Australia. But
yeah.
you're not really a newcomer, are you?
Not really, no. I used to be with a band called the Marbles in about '68. And my cousin, who is a guy called Trevor Gordon, used to be with the Bee Gees over here. And we formed a band called the Marbles. Barry Gibb wrote the songs for us. We had a couple of hits over here and in New Zealand, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That ended after 2 years because my cousin didn't like the music business anymore. So now he's a school teacher.
Well, at that stage too, you started looking at things other than the music industry as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it didn't want me anymore. It threw me out, music business. So I was going to be a holiday camp. That sounds bad, doesn't it? Holiday camp. Do you know Butlins holiday camps?
Well, we've heard of the
you know, all that sort of business.
The holiday camps from Carry On This and Carry On That. They're always in holiday camps.
I was going to work in one of those, you know, as a sort of an entertainer and whatever, you know. I'm glad I didn't do it. I'm glad. Because I had a telegram from my manager. His name is David Ollie. When I went home, it's about 2 years ago, I had this telegram from David. He said, "What are you doing, Graham? Please get back into the music business." And so I came back.
Yeah.
Here I am now, you know.
You were experimenting for a certain while with movies as well, too.
I had a go, yeah. A film called 3 for All, which was a terrible film. It was a sort of a comedy thing, like a Cliff Richard film. Gone wrong.
Ooh, yes.
Nice film. Here comes Summer Holiday. I liked it. I liked doing a bit of acting, but it wasn't a very good film.
You also got off at the James Dean role in a movie too, didn't you?
Yeah, but that fell through for some reason, because they started drawing back James Dean films on TV, etc., back home in England. I don't know why this was, but for some reason it fell through. So I don't know what happened there. But maybe there's a thing next year, another James Dean thing.
Yeah.
We'll see about that.
So you're still entertaining thoughts about movies as well?
Oh yeah. I like to have a go.
Yeah.
It's good fun.
And not necessarily in a musical role?
No.
Just straight
acting. Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose you would have been pretty surprised about the success of the album in Australia compared to the rest of the world.
I am very surprised. I mean, it didn't happen in England. Had a go, but it didn't quite happen. But it's a nice surprise, and yesterday I got this gold thing presented to me on a show called Countdown.
Yeah.
And that's great. Jesus, what do you do with your floats here?
There's lots of them. But compared to the rest of the world, you're sort of surprised that it actually happened in Australia before it happened more or less
anywhere. It happened here more anywhere, you know. This is it for me, you know.
What about an Australian tour? You've been thinking about that at all?
Yeah, next May. And I hope to use the same guys I used on the album, if I can get them. But they're very busy at the moment. We have a date even, May the 5th, I think.
Is that a definite or...